Hello, this is Matt Lister with IBM, and today we're just going to look at some of the Maximo Anywhere applications to meet a few requirements for a client. So today we've been asked to show the requirements of showing offline online, moving some assets, showing barcoding, managing inventory. So to do that, I'm going to use Asset Data Manager Anywhere app. I'm going to use the Issues and Transfers app and the Physical Count app. As I go into the App Store, you'll see that you can search for different Maximo Anywhere apps that are persona-based apps, meaning they are designed to do one or two activities for a specific role. There's 9 different apps that can be used as part of Anywhere, and they all support the following on the left, from barcoding to GPS support to offline online. So now I'm going to go into the applications on my phone, and I'll share that to show how I can do each of these functions. So I'm going to go onto my application. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So initially, when you go to the App Store, if you search for IBM Maximo, it's going to bring up many different applications. You're going to want to look for the ones that are in purple icons. Technician is for work order, data manager for asset management, supervisor's work order. If you scroll farther down, you'll see some issues and returns is going to be the one I use for issuing to a work order asset inventory. And then there's also physical count, which is called Maximo cycle counts. So I'm going to go over to my apps that I've already installed. So you'll initially install it. The first time you log into an app, you will get a spot to put in the URL. So the URL will be the URL of the Maximo application, which you'll put in right into the spot and hit connect. I've already connected to the ones for the 3 that I'm going to use. So I'm going to go into Asset Data Manager first. The first time you log in, it will ask you for a username. I'm going to go in as MaxAdmin. Hit sign in. Now the first time it will cache data, so you'll see on install data, and then after that, to update data, you can hit the little 3 dots at the top and hit settings, and you can see if there's any data that needs to be refreshed. And for instance, yesterday I installed this app, downloaded the data, which only took a few seconds, and then I could hit if I want to update any changes that happened in the system since yesterday. So it'll just quickly go through some of the tables, mainly the lookup data and the transactional data, that if anyone added assets, updated assets, you'll see that come through here with the lookup data. And that'll just run kind of in the background. Okay, so the first use case was to create a new asset. So from the 3 dots, I could create an asset and assign a location. So I'm going to hit create asset. It's going to give me an asset status of not ready. I can assign the asset a number. In this case, I'll just call it A1001. Give it a description, new pump at site, facility 1. Now, you can assign it a parent asset. So if I hit the little magnifying glass, it will show me all the assets that exist. I'm just going to cancel that. I'm not going to have a parent, but I am going to pick a location. Anytime you see the little barcode here, you can hit the barcode scanner and use a scanned barcode to bring in that location, or you can do a search. In this case, I'm just going to add it to the I'm just going to add it to the oil gas business. So that's going to put this pump at this location. And then there's additional fields that you could pick: failure class, the type of asset, this is a facilities asset, all the main fields on an asset you normally see on the screen. So that's pretty much it, and then I hit create. So now it'll actually take this asset here and add it directly into the database. The other thing I could have done is change the status. Maybe I want to make it active now, and hit save. Okay, I'm going to go back to the main screen and I'm going to hit up here at the top. You've got a couple of filters. You can design these. These are queries that you set up in the main system that a user can see. So these could be specific to the user that logs in. So maybe he only sees his assets, all the assets, or ones that he created right on the phone. So I'm going to go back to all assets and I'm going to go find an asset to move. So let's use the barcode reader. So I'm going to go to, I have a reader here. I'm just going to put in, create a barcode. Let's say 11430. Okay, so I'm just going to scan that. So it brought in, once I scanned it, it brought in the 11430 asset, once I scanned it, into the search field and automatically found that record. So that's one way to use the scanner. So I'm going to say, I'm going to move this asset. So up here, the three dots, again, I can either take a photo or I can move. So I'm going to move it, and I'm going to move it from GE1 to a new location. So I'm just going to do that location again. And let's move it down into a gas turbine system, and I'll save it. It's very simple. Now my asset has been moved into the GE-GT system. Okay, other things you can see on the asset, you can see attribute data. So all that specific nameplate data, I could update that here as well. Any attachments that I have on the asset from the system, I can see here as well. I can see PDF files, JPEGs, and then meters. If I need to collect meter data, I can collect that here as well, meter readings. Okay, so that's the move. The last thing I wanted to show is the take a picture. So if I did want to attach a new picture, I could come here, I could just take a picture, use photo, I name it. So I'm just going to say pump. And this is going to save it into the Maximo link document library as well. So just like saving an attachment in the system, that you can do that from the phone. Okay, so that's kind of the all the functions of an asset and a move asset and a barcoding. The other one I'll finally show is let's show the offline capability. So if I did go offline, as you can see at the top, I've got the connection with my Wi-Fi. I could hit enable offline to force it. And if I go into a record, you're going to see a little cloud come up. So I still have access to do all the same things. You know, I could do a downtime, collect downtime while the cloud is not connected. I could say this is a breakdown. I could save it. Now this record here is being cached. The changes in the data is being cached on the phone, and then as soon as I connect to the cloud is when it will take that transaction and send it into the Maximo database. Okay, so that covered the assets move stuff. The next one is around inventory. So the first one I'm going to go into, let's go back to our main apps. I'm going to talk about the physical count. So inventory items, you know, are items stored in a storeroom. So I'm going to go into this physical count cycle, which is specific to do one job: count the items in your inventory. So I'm going to sign in, and right away it's going to bring up a set of all my inventory items, or I could set up a query. A lot of times clients will set lots of items. If you've got 1,000 items in your inventory, maybe you group them into 250 at a time, or areas in the inventory that you do your physical counts. Maybe it's an annual physical count type thing. So here I can, I just have some sample ones here. I've got 191 items installed. And I'm going to go and count these items. So it's very easy. All I do, if I have the items already on the list that I want, I just click on an item and hit the new amount, and then hit done. That's going to count that first item and take it off my list. I now have 190 left. The other way I could have done it is, again, I could have used the barcode. I could have said, maybe I knew the barcode was 227132. And then I'll just create that barcode or QR code. This can be RFIDs. So now I just scanned it and it jumped me right to that 227132 item. And I'll enter the amount. There's 3 of those. And I hit done. So really you could just come in and scan, hit the count. If you didn't have barcoding, you can also do a recount. A recount will let you search for an item. So if I didn't know, or even search for a location, bin location within the storeroom, or a lot. Maybe you have a group of items that you want to use the lot, or multiple storerooms. So if I didn't have the barcode, I could also come here and just do it, use my query search. Maybe I want to search for a fan. Oh, I didn't have one here. Maybe I know the number is 227132, search, and there's that same item that I just did, and then I brings in the search, and then I hit search, and it goes. Actually, in this one, I had 3 of those same items in different storerooms or bin locations. So here's the storeroom, Atlanta and Central, but here's the bin location, A57. So I can decide which one I want to count, and then boom, there's the one I just counted, and it shows me the last count there. So very simple to do counts as well. So I've still got the enable offline mode as well from this app. The third app I want to show is the item move. So this is for issuing and returning items. So the check-in, check-out of inventory items. So I'm going to go to my log in this one. So here, a very simple screen again, where if you go into the Maximo issues and returns screen on the desktop, you'll see you first select the storeroom where I'm issuing out the items. I'll say central storeroom. And then if I hit the issue reserved items, it's going to give me 2 choices to barcode or search: the work order number or the asset that exists on different work orders. So here I'll just look for a work order 1002-4, which I had, and I hit search. So this one here shows me 2 items that are planned to be, that are on reserve on that work order. So as soon as if I just hit that and hit complete, it will issue those to the work order. You can do the same thing for, a little error, same thing for the returns. If I hit the return items, I can either search for the work order again to return an item, 1002, search. No, this one didn't, since I hadn't issued it, it wouldn't return it. Or I can look for an item to return. So maybe I have let's use that same pump. Maybe I issued pump. That one didn't exist. Let's just select one. Clear value. I'll just select maybe this rotor, search. So this one had been issued out, so now I can check it and return it back into the storeroom. So now it sends it back into the central storeroom. Very simple, one or 2 clicks to issue reserved items. You can also issue additional items to a work order. So if I had an additional item, I could pick that and issue it to a work order, or do the return from a work order or an asset to the storeroom. And up here, again, same thing, offline mode and the download of the data with the settings. So pretty basic, 3 apps to do all these over here. Mobile, offline, online, the barcoding, which can be done with RFID as well, adding a photo, changing the location of the asset or updating data on the asset, checking in and out with the issues and transfers, adjust the quantity on hand with the physical count, the simple inventory adjustments with physical count and issues and returns, and then changing the bin location, which is the moving that inventory item around. That concludes the video. Thank you.